Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this very important session, which is the last session on fundamental rights. Today, we are going to discuss Articles 33, Article 34, and also Article 35 of the Indian Constitution. So, please give me a minute. I am just switching on the chat window. Okay, welcome to the class, guys. I can see Vaishnavi and Ruperi have already joined the class before the class started. And yeah, chalo. So somehow we are approaching towards the end of fundamental rights. So this is going to be the last session on the complete course, last session of this month. Feb is coming in another one day, so we'll be starting the next series of classes then. Okay, chalo. Let me just proceed with the class. Before getting into that, we have certain very important announcements. Announcements. Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the session. How are you all? So guys, we are actually coming up with a very important offer which is known as Unlock 20. So now you can unlock 20% off on all Unacademy subscriptions. So earlier you used to get only 10% discount, but now if you are applying my code Thrinath10 THRINATH10, you are going to get 20% off on all Unacademy subscriptions. Hello Ishan, I'm very good. Thank you for asking. So all subscriptions means not only in the CLAT category but also in the K-12, UPSC, UPPSC, SSC, SSC non-technical, judiciary, banking exams, NDA, and all other categories which are there on the Unacademy Learners application. This particular code, don't forget to use this code THRINATH10 without any space. Offer is valid only till 31st of January, that is tomorrow. So please make sure that you're making the most of this particular offer. Along with these, we have certain other important things that we are launching Master Law Batch, which is all state law entrance preparation. If you're preparing for TS Law Set, AP Law Set, Maharashtra Set, PUCET, and all of these other state law examinations, you can enroll in this particular batch, which is started on 27th of January, which is completely in English, and you have to take 6 months subscription. And now you have 20% discount, so you can definitely take this thing by using my code Thrinath10 THRINATH10. And we are also going to increase the prices in our CLAT and other 5-year LLB examinations. So please make sure that you're making the most of this particular ongoing offers. So this is a price chart for Plus and Iconic. So you can definitely enroll in either of these courses. Iconic gives you personal mentorship, Plus gives you unlimited access. In Iconic, you're going to get plus personal mentorship. So now let us get into our regular business of discussing Articles 33, Article 34, and also Article 35. So till yesterday we are done with Article 32. So they are the fundamental rights. Of course, we have discussed 31A, 31B, and 31C, which are considered to be exceptions to fundamental rights. And today we are going to discuss, another set of exceptions, I can say, to which are available to our fundamental rights. Hello, where is this? Yeah. So we have discussed writs yesterday, and now we are going to discuss Article 33. What is Article 33? Article 33, and please remember Articles 33, 34, and 35 are exceptions to fundamental right, which they actually restrict fundamental rights to certain sections of citizens. Okay. It empowers the parliament, okay, only parliament and not state legislatures. It empowers the parliament to restrict or abrogate the fundamental rights of the members of armed forces, paramilitary forces, police forces, intelligence agencies, and analogous forces. Analogous means the similar forces of this kind. So if you are in the army or paramilitary or military or police or intelligence, then okay, no problem, mission. So for these set of people, fundamental rights are restricted, which means certain fundamental rights are not made available to these set of people. And why is this particular thing there? So the objective of this provision is to ensure the proper discharge of their duties and maintenance of discipline among them. So if the people, because the people who are working in army and paramilitary force and police forces, they have access to a lot of sensitive information, and if they are given all the fundamental rights, especially right to liberty, this is going to definitely affect a lot of problem. This is going to affect the police force, and this is also going to affect the law and order in the country. So that is why, to ensure proper discharge of their duties and to maintain discipline, fundamental rights are restricted to paramilitary forces, armed forces, police forces, and intelligence agencies, and also analogous services. And the power to make laws under Article 33 is conferred only on the Parliament and not on state legislatures. As initially it is mentioned that only Parliament has the power to restrict or abrogate the fundamental rights of the members of armed forces. And any such law which is made by the Parliament, they cannot be challenged in any court on any grounds, especially on grounds of violation of fundamental rights. So you cannot go and challenge in the court that this particular law is contradicting fundamental rights. So that is not allowed. Next, the members of the armed forces also covers non-combat employees of armed forces like barbers, carpenters, mechanics, cooks, chowkidars, bootmakers, and tailors. Because are in the armed forces, especially these people, no, people who are serving the combat forces, these barbers, carpenters, and mechanics, these chefs, and all of drivers. So these people, they also have access to a lot of, a lot of very sensitive information. Okay, so that is why this particular thing also covers to these people who are, serving the armed forces. I hope this is clear for everyone. Please give me a very quick yes or no in the chat window. And please don't forget to hit the like button if you are understanding this particular thing. So this is Article 33, restriction of fundamental rights. Then Article 34. Article 34 also provides for restriction of fundamental rights while the martial law is in force. So what is martial law? So martial law is, to put it in simple terms, it is military rule. So whenever there is a military rule in India, then there can be absolute restriction on fundamental rights. So, however, the term martial law is nowhere defined in the Indian constitution, but to put it in simple terms, it is military rule. What did you not understand, Vaishnavi? What did you not understand? Which provision? Then, the martial law is imposed under extraordinary circumstances like war, invasion, insurrection, rebellion, riot, or any other violent resistance law. So, generally, as of now in India, martial law is not imposed anywhere, anytime. But if there are very extraordinary circumstances, then martial law might be imposed. But we hope that will never be implemented in India. Next, Article 34 empowers a parliament to indemnify. So we have discussed what is indemnity. So that is to compensate any government servant or any other person for any act done by him in connection with the maintenance or restoration of order in any area when the martial law is in force. So the act of indemnity made by the parliament cannot be challenged in any court on the ground of contravention of fundamental rights. Okay, Article 33. I'm coming there, Vaishnavi, again. So guys, Article 34 is very simple. Whenever there is martial law or military rule, Parliament can make law and impose this military rule. Whenever there is military rule, in fundamental rights can be suspended or fundamental rights can be restricted or abrogated. Next, Article 35 is a very simple article which lays down the power to make laws to give effect to certain specified fundamental rights shall vest only in the parliament and not in state legislatures, especially wherever it is specified. Like let us say Article 34 and even 33. In all of these articles, the right to make any changes, to make any laws is always given to parliament and not to state legislatures. Now let me come to Article 33, which Vaishnavi did not understand. To Vaishnavi, it is very simple. As I told you at the beginning of this particular class, that Articles 33 and 34 and 35, they are exceptions to fundamental rights. So what I mean by exceptions to fundamental right, it is actually restricting or abrogating fundamental rights to certain sections of citizens like army, paramilitary, police forces, and intelligence forces. So for these people, fundamental rights are not available completely. Okay, just like all these other rights we have discussed in Article 32, they are available to ordinary citizens whoever are there. But the people who are working in armed forces, paramilitary forces, police forces, Parliament can restrict or abrogate the fundamental rights to them. Okay, and this particular right is given only to Parliament. And whenever a law is made by the Parliament which is restricting the fundamental rights of these people, that is army, paramilitary, police forces, then they cannot be challenged in any court. And another important point is that the members of armed forces, they not only include the people who are actually working in armed forces, but also the people who are, doing some another works in the army, like, the barbers who are there, the carpenters or the chefs or the drivers, bootmakers, tailors. So it is applicable to them also. Even for them, parliament can restrict or abrogate the fundamental rights. I hope this is clear for you, Vaishnavi. It is actually restriction of fundamental rights to certain sections of army, paramilitary, police, intelligence, and analogous forces. Analogous means the similar forces which are there. Is this clear for you? Please give me very quick yes or no in the chat window. So we are all we are actually done with fundamental rights 35. I cannot actually tell you that this is the detailed. Okay, very good, very good. So I cannot actually tell you that this is the detailed explanation of fundamental rights, but at least I hope that I gave you the basic understanding of what exactly are fundamental rights. Till now, we are done with these many classes, and we'll be starting our next series of classes. On DPSP, we are going to start DPSP very soon. Another important thing which is there, power of parliament only to make laws. So Parliament in India have power to make certain laws. So what are they? Prescribing residence as a condition for certain employment or appointment in the state or union territory, empowering courts other than Supreme Court and the High Courts to issue writs, as we have discussed when I was talking about writ jurisdiction. I told you that, as of now, only High Court and Supreme Court have the power to issue writs. But if Parliament wants, only Parliament can make a law and provide this jurisdiction to lower courts also. Then restricting or abrogating fundamental rights, as we discussed in Article 33, and indemnifying any government servant or any other person for the act done during operation of martial law, which is written under Article 34. And the Parliament has powers to make law prescribing punishment for offences such as untouchability and traffic in human beings and forced labor. So all of these things, 35 says that, extends the competence of Parliament to make law on specified matters, even those matters which may fall under the sphere of state legislature. Even if these matters are there in the state legislature, so any law with respect to the specified matters in these articles, the power is always there in the Parliament and not in state legislature. I hope this is clear for everyone. And with this note, I think it's time to wind up the session of fundamental rights. And very soon we are going to talk about DPSPs as well. Okay. And today, somewhere around now it is 2 p.m. right? So around 6 or 6:30 p.m. we will be having a free special class on current affairs, and the links to the same will be shared in the Telegram channel. It is going to be a free class, and you have to just use my code Thrinath10 THRINATH10. If you are using this particular code, you will be able to unlock this class absolutely for free. So we are going to discuss certain important current affairs for your upcoming law examinations in India. So I hope to see you all in my class at 6:30 or so. We'll be taking another class, and I'll see you all there. Bye guys.